Everybody, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit. Let me tighten up my camera a little bit. Cool, sweet. Alright, so what I have here is a poker piece, a poker chip, plastic, pretty cheapy and generic. We're going to use this as a base, and we are going to make a mechanical Mothman today. So what I want to do is I want to get a pair of skizzers, in case I need to skizz anything. We're going to cut out a square from that. That'll fit on this. So what I want to do is I want to get a knife. I want to get some decent texture in there to hold glue, because I plan on just using hot glue because it's cold and it's late and I'm in a hurry. But I'm making a commitment to make a video for you guys every day like I used to. I was got a little busy today. Well, there's a piece of plastic in there. That's okay. Ouch. And let that sit for a second. Ooh, I get this glue out of my finger. Ow, that's hot. Oh, it's under my thumbnail. That sucks. All right. Then we're going to take that. And we're going to just cut around here with this dull knife that ain't cutting shit. Well, it's cutting something, but it's just not cutting it very well. It cut right through that hot glue. How lucky. All right, next knife to the drawer. Oh, this one's not coming out easy. So when you have this kind of stuff, you got an obligation to kind of pack it up so nobody gets cut when it goes in your trash. So just wrap it up in some cardboard like a dude. Get some tape. Tape that up so nobody gets hurt, right? And so that doesn't come out. This is just something you do so your garbage men and anybody that's handling your trash, garbage women, whoever, doesn't get cut. Nice. All right. On to the mechanical Mothman. Let the cutting commence. All right, let's try this. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I was cutting into my tabletop there. Okay, cool. So, just so this has a little bit of variation to it and the base isn't completely boring, I'm just going to snip a couple pieces of cardstock. This is not good cardstock to use. This is from a miniature box, so it's a little too shiny. Okay, I'm going to shove that on there like that. And then once we get the mini in place, we'll try to make some more adjustments to this. So this is our base. Let's just glue it onto here so we have something to hold on to while we're working. I'm just going to put a dab of glue there. I'm going to throw that on there and leave that for a minute. So to make his legs, I'm going to start with a skewer. This is from the Dollar Tree, I'm sure. And this is going to be a size large mini. Do I have a pair of needle nose here? Let me check in my tool bag. So what we want to do is we want to kind of get those to be the knees. So I'm just going to use my judgment and get about halfway there. Snap that up a little bit. Just trying to find that halfway point. Snap that up a little bit. There's his knees. Then this piece is going to be his torso. And all I'm doing is not that. Let's try it again. Give him a new torso. Now I want this to be like kind of like where he has a hunch. See, so it's got a little bit of a bend, so he'll hunch. Then I have these big beads. These are called pony beads from what I'm reading here. So what I want to do, I want to get a pony bead. I'm going to use this as his hips. So I'm going to rub that around in that glue. It's cold, so the glue should dry quickly. I want to get that kind of centered on there. And then I'm going to sturdy that up a little bit with a little bit of extra glue. Just like that. Okay. I'm going to take his legs. I'm going to stick this broken piece through there and use that. So I'm going to shove it this way, get a little bit of glue on it, and force it in there just like that. Aim it down. Get some of that excess glue. Let that cool. Okay. And that's going to be where his legs mount on. We get a little glue on the side here, just like that. And attach his leg at a weird angle to where he doesn't walk super stable or sturdy. He's an old mech that was made hundreds of years ago and has been in the wild repairing himself the best he can. Or maybe there's some other force helping him to keep him in repair. Okay. Something like that. Okay. We're done with the pony bead. I'm going to set those off to the side. Let's get a bigger bead to be his head. Something like this maybe. Will that work? Yeah, that'll work. All right, we're going to get a dab of glue. And I'm just going to get a little glue on his feet. Just like that. To kind of get him in the posture I want him to be in when he leans forward. Okay. That looks like it's going to hold. Now I'm going to get a little bit of glue around the base there and just sturdy that up. Just like that, dudes. Let me get a little glue there and kind of work on that. Okay, I'm going to get my minor burning hand spell. There we go. Alright, so now we need to make his arms and his wings and his mouth and head and stuff, or however that's going to look. I don't know yet. So for his shoulders, I'm thinking we just cut a piece of cardstock, fold it in half, so that when we open that up, it's something like that. Okay, just like that. Then we're going to do something similar on the front, but it'll be smaller. And fold this in half, just like that. I'm going to get some glue in there. I'm going to push that in to place. Just like that. Okay. And then, for his hands, we're going to get two toothpicks, just like that. We're going to cut those to the length we want the arms to be, which is about that, I'm guessing. We're going to bend these a little bit. We're going to shove that in there like that. And I'm going to get a little dab of glue. And put that back into place how I want it and let that cool. Same thing on this side. We're just going to shove that in that gap like that. A little bit of glue, a little bit of glue, and get it in place how we want it, just like that. So his wings, let's snip off this extra little bit of wood. Let's get a little bit of glue along here, just sturdy that up. Just like that. All right. So we want to cover that up with something to make that hole not be there. So let's see what we have. Beads are probably a good choice for that. So I have some beads. Let's find a little one. There we go. Just a little bead. And if you have a little bit of extra glue, just make sure you kind of rub it around to make it even. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right. Now for his hands, what we want to do is we want to cut 2 of these little pieces out of skewer. Set those down. Lost one. It's got a piece of, it's hanging on a spider web. Come on, you bastard. All right, we got our pieces. Oh, still on a spider web. There we go. Let's get these spider webs out of there. And what we want to do is we want to get some pieces of toothpick. Little pieces like this, and just kind of snap them a little bit. Dab of glue. And this is going to be the middle finger on this hand. Just kind of roll that around and get a good bond. Okay, and each one of these is going to have 3 fingers like that. Keep your pointy pieces. We're going to use those for thumbs. Okay. Okay, something like that. And let's try not to have it stuck to my finger too much. Come on. Dang it. All right. Get that on there. Like that. Actually, 2 fingers might work perfectly now that I'm looking at it. Let's do it with 2 fingers and a thumb. Something like that. There we go. That'll work. Then we get one more finger here. Bend that. Whoops. I'll leave that for a second while I get my finger sorted out here. All right. Oops. Okay. You're probably thinking, Doom, this thing's super flimsy. Yeah, it is. We're going to fix that right now. So get yourself some super glue. Get it on your arms, your hands, your fingers. Saturate stuff. Get it up here on the neck, around the body, legs, inside the joints, down to the floor. Okay. See that? Get a little bit in that on that back piece, a little bit on that front piece. That'll just be some extra texture all said and done. Cool. The goal is not to make this beautiful. It's hundreds of years old. It's been in a terrible, terrible life where it just has to get by how it can and scrap what it can to survive. Things haven't been easy for this poor creature. This poor robot. You get a little baking soda. Mine's kind of clumpy. We're going to break that up a little bit. We're going to sprinkle this on and add some sturdiness to it. Whoops. Okay. All right. Let's get our minor burning hand spell and clean off any spider webs we can. Try not to catch them on fire if you can help it. All right. We're almost done with this guy. I'm going to move my baking soda off to the side. And let's just make him a couple wings real quick. So to make his wings, we're just going to bend these kind of awkward. We're going to get some granny grating. We're going to cut it into some rough wing shapes. And to do that, we're just going to cut kind of a rectangle. We're going to cut that in half like that. Okay. And we're going to get this piece. We're going to glue it on here like this. And then cut off the excess. So make it a little bit. I'm going to shove it down here at an angle. Okay. Then I'm going to bring this down into place how I want it. Just like that. I'm going to get a little bit of glue on the inside there. And I'm going to let that cool. While that's cooling, I'm going to snip off that piece and make myself a little wing. I'm going to attach that wing with a dab of glue. And I'm going to do it in such a way that it's kind of awkward and doesn't really make sense. And I'm going to let it cool. But you want to make sure that it doesn't go below your base, okay? You don't want it going down. Let's make our other wing. We're going to do the same thing. So let's get some glue. There we go. get this held in place how we want it. There we go. We'll let that cool for a minute in place, how we need it to stay. Just like that. We'll cut off our excess. And make another chunky wonky wing. We're going to mount that up here, just like this, same way we did that one. Okay. And just move your glue around to make sure you get a bond that's going to hold it up at a bad, nonsensical angle. Okay, so it's not touching the ground. Then we're going to get our super glue. We're going to get a good, there we go, good bond on that wing. We don't want that to move. Okay. Now it's its permanent home. Let's get that hot minor burning hand spell. Clean up these spider webs. Okay, and let's burn these wings up a little bit, melt that in. Melt that in. A little bit. Don't breathe that in. Have a ventilation fan like I do if you can. That was not ideal. Let's get that down there and let that cool. There we go. There we go. All right. So we lost a lot of that wing there, but we have some of it. So remember, he scrapped himself back together. So we owe him that. We owe him that scrap back together look. So we're going to get a dab of glue there, a dab of glue there. We're going to come over here and we're going to throw that repair job on there. Just like that. I'm going to get a toothpick to kind of pull that around and get it down in the cracks. All Bob Ross style. Happy little wings. All right. We're pretty done, but we need eyes. So to make eyes, we're going to use our age-old friend, the gem beads. These are from those little gem paintings. My mom and my wife both do them, so I always have the extras. I've had the same little bin of these for like 50, 100 years. Amount of stupid glue. Don't throw those away when they're empty. Set them off to the side with no lid, let them dry, and you can use them for parts for stuff. So I got a dotted super glue there. Get our gem beads and get a poker. Get them kind of evenly spaced. Let's get one on his rump here. Everything seems pretty sturdy. Let's get one on his chest piece too. Oh, lost it. didn't get a good bond there. So that's okay. I'm just going to get a little drop of glue on him and let that kind of drip where it drips. Okay. We blow my nose and we'll paint this feller. I asked my wife to get me some spray paint. She actually didn't go to the store. She did like a delivery service. They would not bring us spray paint. So let's see what I got to work with. All right. Nose blowed. I have some satin. I have some flat primer. It's red. So that means it looks brown. Something like that. Then I'm just going to mist them with some metal finish. Then I'm just going to hit him with a tiny bit of matte clear so he'll dry faster. Let's set him here. We're going to get the +5 hot air gun burning. Okay. Get a piece of cardboard, get a soft brush. Where are the brushes I had yesterday? We'll use one of these. So I don't know what colors I want to make him. So I think I'm going to use a reddish brown color. I have a reddish brown color here somewhere called chocolate bar. There it is. That's a little bit wet, but it's not wet wet. It says I'm going to get my brush damp. I'm going to grab that. I'm going to try to do all his armor plate parts with that. And I don't care if I get it on arms and stuff. When I say armor plate parts, this is kind of like the big areas. Like that. Okay. Head. Alright, hands. If you get a little bit on the arms, that's okay. We're going to be painting those something else anyway in a minute. Okay. His wings. Inside and out. Okay. And he doesn't really have feet, but we're just going to get that area down there. And we're going to dab that color around. Okay. Now we're going to get rid of that brush. We're going to hit this with the air gun again. Now for his limbs, I had a metallic brown back here. I don't know what happened to it. There it is. I have a metallic brown. I'm going to get a smaller brush. I'm going to get metallic brown and do his limbs with that. And I'm not doing a perfect job. I'm just hitting them so you can see they're a different color. Just like that. I'm going to do the frames of his wings with that same brown. His legs. Cool, 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 cool. For those of you guys that are on Discord that watch, thanks for your continued support. For those of you that are on the Sloppy Hollow Discord, for those of you that are on the Dungeon Swag Discord, I really appreciate you watching. You don't have to, and you do, and I appreciate that. For those of you that are curious about the Sloppy Hollow Discord, for any of you, if you play the game Worm Online or you're interested in it, hit me up on Discord and I'll give you a link and you can join us there. We play Worm Online together. It's a lot of fun. It's a game where you go around killing goblins and trolls and dragons and other people sometimes. Let me hit that front part there with that color. I think that's about all of him that we can hit with that. Alright, we're going to clean that brush out. Get rid of this metallic brown. We're going to get bright red, but I'm going to use a miniature paint color that I have that I think will be perfect for this, called Dragon Red. I'm going to get a smaller brush. I can do a little bit of jibby jabbing with. I'm going to paint his eyes a really vibrant red. Just like that. I'm going to paint the gem on his chest, that same vibrant red. And I'm going to paint his butt dot, that same vibrant red. With this medium brush, I'm going to get a bronze color, a brown color, I mean. I'm going to mix it with that reddish. I'm going to hit that base up and make it look a little different in spots. Not really going out of my way to do it spectacular on this one. Okay. Then I'm going to get some metallic black and some water. I'm going to dirty him up in some spots. And you want it to kind of drip where it can, and where it can't drip, then obviously it can't drip. But you want him to look a little mucky and murky and dirty. Careful not to hit your red where you've done red work. You'll ruin that. Get on his joints, and get some of that on the ground. Okay. Especially the places on the ground where you just kind of got to blend it together. Get some up on his back there, a little bit on his butt. Let me get a little bit more. Get up under there. Muck him up. Just like that. Now, for any of you familiar with the West Virginia University emblem, since this is a Mothman, I'm going to get a bright yellow paint. This is called demonic yellow, or maybe it's demonic yellow, just spelled dumb. We're almost done here. We're going to get a tiny detail brush. A little piece of cardboard. Some of this yeller. That did not mix up well. Is there any of this consistency I can use? Maybe. I'm going to put a little WB on there because I want to. And also because I want to, I'm going to put a number 44 on his back. Maybe some of you know why I want to put a 44 on his back. If you do, let me know in the description why I did that. Let's get a little yellow dot on the red butt dot. And on his chest dot. Just like that. Let's call it a win. All right, let's take a look at him. It's my spooky Mecha Mothman. He can glide short distances. He can rip things apart. He can dismantle vehicles, people, and robots equally. All right, everybody. This has been Doom Dungeons and Doom Biscuit. And thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon, and all that happy crappy. If you don't mind, share. You know, the things that help the algorithm. And I'll see you next time.